Imagine this. Within the span of just 60 seconds, an empire's worth of potential vanished, not by bomb, not by war, but by a single uttered word. One misstep that would send stock tickers plunging and boardrooms scrambling. That moment is etched into Silicon Valley lore. It was a crisis of language, of ego, of timing, and the fallout reshaped how companies manage risk, communication, and their own hubris. This is the story behind the most expensive 60 seconds in tech history: the rise of the Titans. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, the technology world was in the throes of a boom unlike any before. Two names dominate the public consciousness: Yahoo and Google. Yahoo, with its portal model, email, news, aggregation, and media partnerships, was seen as one of the titans of the digital frontier. Google, still relatively young, was already rewriting the rules of search with speed, relevance, and simplicity. Yahoo had scaled, brand recognition, and a sprawling business model. Yes, definitely somewhat sprawling and occasionally unfocused. Google, in contrast, honed in on one essential problem: helping people find what they wanted, fast. The contrast between breadth and depth, ambition and laser focus, defined much of their early rivalry. As Google's search engine grew in sophistication and adoption, it increasingly encroached on the online ad and traffic domains that Yahoo considered part of its domain. And behind the scenes, discussions were already underway about whether Yahoo should acquire Google, or at least partner closely enough to absorb its momentum. The prelude to a cataclysm. By the mid-2000s, Google had become something that could no longer be ignored. Its algorithmic sophistication, its data insight, its user base, all was scaling rapidly. Yahoo's leadership understood that unless they responded, their dominance in the internet era could slip away. Negotiations were held. The possibility of a merger or acquisition hovered in boardroom conversations, but power dynamics and personalities matter in such deals. The founders, the executives, the investors, all had strong convictions about autonomy, control, and future strategy. Google's founders and board were known to be careful about dilution of vision, about ceding control. Yahoo's executives were ambitious, nervous, and sometimes reactive. So talks proceeded, tensions simmered, and then came the moment that would reverberate far beyond any boardroom memo: the fatal word. In that fateful 60-second interval, Yahoo's CEO uttered one single, catastrophic word. No. Not as a whispered refusal, but as a definitive, abrupt end to negotiation. With that word, Yahoo walked away, or at least signaled its walk. The articulation of that refusal, in public context or private, sent instant shockwaves. For Yahoo, the cost was immediate. Investors interpreted it as a sign of indecision, of miscalculation, of lack of alignment. Growth prospects dimmed. The company's stock precipitously sank. According to retrospective analysis, the market capitalization loss approached $1 trillion in lost value. What had once been an empire in full view now looked fragile, reactive, exposed. And at the same time, Google's position strengthened. The refusal framed Google as a company of increasing independence, with the confidence to reject even the largest suitor. Its status shifted, in perception and valuation, from upstart to rightful leader. That 60-second utterance, no, became not just a turning point, it became a symbol. The power of a single word had eclipsed years of negotiation, analysis, and calculation. Aftermath and fallout. In the wake of that refusal, Yahoo would never fully recover. The company, once a darling of the internet age, began a slow decline. Missteps in leadership, failed acquisitions, distraction away from core strengths, all contributed to its erosion. It became increasingly difficult for Yahoo to respond to the rapidly changing dynamics of search, social media, mobile, and digital advertising. By contrast, Google, now free of constraints from external entanglements, doubled down on its strengths: algorithmic improvement, ad infrastructure, user experience, platform expansion like Gmail, Android, YouTube. The autonomy it preserved in that moment of no allowed it to chart its own path, unfettered. Over time, Yahoo became a shell of its former ambitions, acquired, restructured, broken into pieces. Google, meanwhile, redefined how we interact with information, advertising, knowledge, and technology itself. What had been a negotiation between two giants turned into a defining fork in tech history. The anatomy of catastrophe. Why one word could cost trillions. To understand how a refusal, a simple no, could precipitate such destruction, one must appreciate how value is created, perceived, and destroyed in tech. First, expectation and sentiment are central. Tech markets are forward-looking. Valuation depends less on today's revenue and more on the promise of what's next. When leadership decisions create uncertainty, that promise vanishes. Second, control and alignment are vital. In tech, the coherence of vision, execution, data decisions, and agility often outweigh scale. A deal that might erode that alignment is risky, so refusing, even at great cost, is a defense of identity and autonomy. Third, signaling matters. That refusal sent a signal not just about Yahoo's decision, but about Yahoo's strategic clarity or lack thereof. Investors do not just read decisions, they read the confidence behind them. Fourth, option value. In high-growth tech, the value lies not just in existing assets, but in future possibilities. Product launches, acquisitions, platform leverage, data synergies. By rejecting consolidation, Yahoo sacrificed access to those option values at a moment when competition would intensify. Hence, that one word was not just rhetorical, it was a pivot in the expectations of investors, users, and markets. Personality, vision, and the loss of momentum. No tech story is just about business logic. Personalities, ego, conviction, and error play an outsized role. The leaders involved in that negotiation carried strong convictions about vision and independence. They were wary of ceding control, of partnering with a company that might dilute their mission or slow their trajectory. Yet that same conviction can create strategic blind spots. The belief that one can correct course later, or that one's brand is strong enough to weather rejection, can be dangerously optimistic. In hindsight, Yahoo's fragmentation of business lines, its lack of focus, its shifting strategy, all contributed to its vulnerability. The no moment wasn't the root cause. It was the culmination of deeper structural and vision failures. But the cost of that moment turned a latent weakness into a public collapse. Google, in contrast, benefited from clarity of mission, consistency of execution, and an unshakable belief in data, search, and infrastructure. When the refusal came, Google could navigate forward. Legacy and lessons in the modern tech era. Today, the echoes of that moment still reverberate across Silicon Valley boardrooms, high-stakes negotiations, and tech valuations. The idea that one sentence, one board-gating clause, one term, one refusal can recalibrate value is no longer theoretical. Every major tech acquisition, merger negotiation, or strategic pivot carries heightened awareness. What will the market read into the yes or no? How will investors interpret signals of alignment or dissent? How fragile is the value of future expectations? In academia and business schooling, this story is cited as a cautionary tale. Be mindful that communication, timing, aura, and confidence are assets as real as balance sheets. A miscommunicated refusal or misaligned posture can obliterate value quicker than any competitor's disruption. And for the public observing tech, it underscores how monumental decisions sometimes hinge not on technology or innovation itself, but on how leaders choose to express or withdraw their consent. A world remade, a legacy etched. In the decades since, the world has tilted. Google now, under the umbrella of Alphabet, dominates search. Digital advertising, data analytics, cloud infrastructure, mapping, mobile operating systems, and artificial intelligence. Its reach and gravity shape whole industries and everyday lives. Yahoo, once a colossus of the early internet, has become a footnote. Its promise dimmed, its assets parceled out, its influence greatly diminished. That single no became emblematic. The most expensive 60 seconds in tech history. But beyond the shock value lies a deeper truth. In the fast, hyper-leveraged world of technology, value is fragile, perception is king, and leadership is never just about policy, but posture, language, and courage. The echo of a word in the annals of tech. Few episodes capture the interplay between hubris, judgment, and fate so cleanly. Within those 60 seconds, the trajectory of two companies diverged irrevocably. One, crippled by hesitation and fragmentation. The other, liberated to redefine the future. That moment reminds us, in an industry built on exponential growth and fragile expectations, one word can hollow out value by the trillions. It's a humbling testament to how speech, strategy, and timing are not just accessories, they are weapons. From the rise of Yahoo and Google, through negotiation, to irrevocable refusal, and into the legacy that shapes our world today, this is a story about power, perception, and the mercurial nature of value. The echo of that minute still holds.